talking about anger. Few verses that will help us from Psalm 4, verse 4.
Don't sin by letting anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent.
In your anger, do not sin. Be angry, sin not. What usually causes anger? Can you write few instances, basic reasons why anger comes? 4 reasons you can write. Of the 4, which is very common for you, mark, underline that. Common cause. You can share your common cause, common reason.
Expectations not fulfilled.
Expectations not fulfilled.
When somebody disturbs us.
So, I don't want him to disturb, he disturbs me. Okay.
Ego is hurt.
They want me to praise me, they don't praise me. Okay. They are not respecting me.
Injustice.
I think this is justice, they do injustice.
Others entering into my limits.
When I am hungry. Why are you angry when you are hungry? Because sky is blue? Then. No, it's not right. Because when you are hungry, something happens. You are sitting quiet, you become angry with the wall. With the people only. Why do you become angry? Ordinary moments it doesn't produce. When I am hungry, anger comes. But why it comes?
Because I want food and
So you are angry with whom? With all people you are angry.
at that
Big, you are not clear. Somebody does something, says something, then only you become angry. You go and just become angry with someone. No. Why? Another reason? So most of you said it is expectation. Expectation. Who is responsible? But you blame others. Blame others. Now, where do fightings and quarrels come among you? Do they not come because the lust that is warring in your members? Very simple reason. I want to have, I don't get it, I kill. Read that. James chapter 4, verse 1 and 2.
Where do wars and fights come from among you? Do they not come from your desires for your pleasures that war is your members? You lust and do not have. You murder and cover and cannot obtain. You fight and war, yet you do not have because you do not ask.
So, the lust that is warring in your member is, I am the king, I am the queen. Things must be done in my way. I expect it has to happen. Certain moments it may increase. When you are tired, when you are hungry, when you lost something, all these things may trigger it. But usually it is your expectations not fulfilled. As you become angry frequently, I mentioned the fuse wire becomes shorter and shorter for igniting it. Usual pattern. Somebody did something, did not do something, said something, you react. You become angry. Say something, do something, throw something, whatever. Then it's all over. Finally, when it's all over, what is your feeling? You write your feeling. What is my feeling? Think of one particular occasion recently when you became angry, very angry. Think of that occasion. What was the feeling when it was over? Right. Your feeling. Yes. What is your feeling? Some of you can say.
Shame.
Shame. Sorry.
Disgust.
Guilty.
Disgust.
Disgust.
Restless.
Restless. So far I didn't hear any positive feeling. I was happy, jumped around. No, it's all negative. After some days or some time, again this happens, and again the same feeling, but you are not able to change it. It continues like this, as if I am trapped in it. The particular occasion you are thinking in your mind, you had to think a particular occasion when you became angry. Did you recollect it? Yes. The trigger, and before you became angry, there was a small gap in which you thought of something in your mind, you said something in your mind. Can you recollect that sentence or thinking in your mind at that occasion? Before you acted in anger. Can you write down what you said or thought or remembered? Yes. What did you say? What did you think?
No respect.
No respect. Disobedient. How? What? One more word is added. Always disobedient. Eh?
He's always like that.
Always like that. Then, how to go on?
Never obey.
Never obey. Then, okay.
Still react.
Then what did you say after that? Inside. This is the 6th time. No point.
If I don't correct it, it will continue.
It will continue.
Repeated negligence.
Purposefully doing it. Okay. Where did these statements come from? Mind is okay. Where from?
From others, what we did.
What do you call that? Memory. Memory. So when you press this, somebody pressed the button, the screen came up. Lot of things will come. All the whole screen. So it may be 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever it is final, I am talking about the final thing. Pressure cooker lid breaks finally after building up the pressure. Okay. Now, suppose this event has happened after the LRS and after your morning meditation. What sentence you could have said in your mind at that time? Same occasion, what sentence you could have said. It's imagination, you write down. Write down that possible sentence. Now tell me. God guide me. Hmm?
Dead person has
What? I am dead. Child of God. Not worthy. What?
I will teach from this meditation.
I will sit with him for meditation.
dead person has no.
Okay. I too have done this many times. I may be the cause.
God has forgiven me.
God has forgiven me.
I receive forgiveness.
Not worth it. Okay. If you were able to say this sentence, what would have happened to this firework? What would have happened to the firework? It would have been there or not? It would not have happened. Who irritated you? Who provoked you? Memory. It's memory which provokes. Do you recognize that? Memory that provokes. Now, fourth verse. Read that. Psalm 4 verse 4 again.
Don't sin by letting anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent.
Okay. So, when you become angry and when you come back to your bed, what do you do usually? Replay the hurt. Then after some time you say, I should not be doing this, stop. എന്നാൽ ഇത് ചെയ്യാൻ Okay, one time, twice, 3, 4. What happens to the problem? Snowball effect, it becomes bigger. Then you share to your spouse. Spouse pours little oil into it. ഇവനെല്ലാം വിട്ടു വയ്ക്കக்கூടാതെ. Don't leave it. It becomes bigger. Then, what do you do further meditation in the bed? Plan for revenge. Plan for revenge. Or do you do this meditation? Be still. Don't plan, but be quiet. Search your heart. Search your heart. Why this memory is there? Why this is not coming into me? My heart must be filled with what? Now next verse, fifth verse, next verse.
Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord.
Okay. What sacrifice you offer in the midnight? What sacrifice? 1 Peter chapter 2, 21 to 23.
For to this you were called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that you should follow his steps, who committed no sin, nor was deceit found in his mouth, who when he was reviled did not revile in return, when he suffered he did not threaten, but committed himself to him who judges righteously.
So he handed over the matter to whom? Father who will judge righteously. Instead of taking revenge, can you leave the matter into God's hand, sacrifice yourself and my matter into God's hand? But no, I will take up. I will take up. Why don't you hand it over to God? So, if you had handed over, 8th verse.
I will both lie down in peace and sleep for you alone, O Lord. Make me dwell in safety.
I will
both lie down in peace and sleep for you alone.
I will both lie down and sleep. What's the footnote in your Bible for both? Lying down and sleeping will happen simultaneously. At the same time. Many people lie down, sleep after 2 or 3 hours. When did this happen? Psalm 4. When Absalom had driven out David from the palace, he was lying in the forest on a rock, on a quilt supplied by someone, and for eating he had only old dried resin, because it is given, who gave it also is given. That's all the food. But he says in 7th verse,
You have put gladness in my heart more than in the season that their grain and wine increased.
They say that that's a time when the tribute will come and the treasurer of the palace will come and report, so much wheat has come, so much oil has come, so much wine has come. Now there is nothing. But he says, I have greater gladness now in my heart than when the wine and the grain abound. And he could sleep peacefully. How he entrusted the matter into God's hand. So he says he's a man of my heart, my own heart. Injustice, great injustice. In front of, he's so nice, he violated his wife's. But he did not. It's said that by an author, when he was running through the caves of Adullam, earlier years, God permitted it to happen. In the process, God was removing Saul's from the caverns of his heart. And when he met Saul finally, he did not murder him. He was thinking of the Lord, anointed of the Lord, anointed of the Lord, anointed of the Lord. He did not even mention the name of Saul. There are about 5 times he mentions anointed of the Lord. See, he is 100. He could not rest anywhere. He could not meet the family. He is like a fugitive. The person is in his hand, just in front of him. His arm bearer says, one stab I will kill him. Anointed of the Lord. How could this anger be removed from his heart? We are thinking of how can I forget? But here is an example how he did it. Souls were taken from the caverns of his heart. So when he died, actually he cried, wept. And he could take care of his at least one son to eat at his table for his lifetime. What happened to his memories? What happened to them? How these thoughts came. How these thoughts came into his heart. Why it is not coming into our heart. What fills your heart? What is your preoccupation? See, the brother saucer will get only from the cup. When the cup is full, it spills and gets. What fills my heart, I will spill. What fills my heart? So, are you harboring anger and remembering everything? The Lord says, read from Matthew 5, 24, 25.
Leave your gift, therefore, there before the altar and go your way. First be reconciled to your brother and then come and offer your gift. Agree with your adversary quickly while you are with him on the way, lest perhaps the persecutor deliver you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and you be cast into prison.
Next verse.
Most certainly I tell you, you shall by no means get out of there until you have paid the last penny.
Yes. You will not get out of the prison till you pay the last penny. Look at the prison. The trap in which you come. Look at the prison. You will be in it. Every time you will be trapped. Other benefits, bonus, for this will be psychosomatic illness. You have not forgiven others, you have not forgiven yourself also, or you have not received the forgiveness. Both are same. It compounds. When you don't forgive, you cannot forgive yourself, and both go on inside. I've asked this question. Who cannot sleep in a prison? The guard. prisoners will sleep very well. All unforgiven people are prisoners in your heart, and you are the warden. Your prisoners will sleep, and whenever you think of them, you will have stomach pain, sleeplessness, restlessness. Every problem you will have. Anywhere you think of them. Suppose you forgot about them and they are about to leave, you may ask a question. എന്നാൽ ഇങ്ങനെ എന്നോട് ചെയ്തല്ലോ. Another 5 years. Another 5 years. Some are lifelong inside your jail. They will help you not to sleep. Psalm 32 verse 3 and 4, we read it. Can read it again.
When I kept silent, my bones grew old through my groaning all the day long. For day and night your hand was heavy upon me. My vitality was turned into the drought of summer.
King David has committed sins, and it is palace secret, nobody knows it. Or even if they don't know, they don't speak about it. He will come to the palace, sit on the throne, judge everything he does. But he went for the hospital checkup. Doctor asked, why, King, you have lost lot of weight. Yes, doctor, I have not been eating, I have not been sleeping, I have lot of pain in the back and the body, headache, my BP goes up. Lot of complaints you would have had. Your sin will find you out. He has not forgiven, he has not been forgiven. Misery. So this is the jail many people live in, with lot of prisoners in their heart. And they torment you day and night. In Matthew 18, last 2 verses.
In anger, his master turned him over to the jailers to be tortured until he should pay back all he owed. This is how my heavenly Father will treat each of you unless you forgive your brother from your heart.
This is how, means what?
Tortured.
You will be tortured, tormented. You have heard about self-flagellation. They make a whip and beat themselves in some of the convents earlier years. Self-flagellation. This is, you inflict injury on yourself by not forgiving. So, as you keep more and more memories stored up, you will enjoy your life more. So what to do? Open the prison, let your prisoners go, and throw the key off. You may not have job. Yes.
Uncle, these memories are all because of unforgiveness?
Unforgiven memories.
Unforgiven memories.
That's a memory we are taking. So look at your memory screen. Many people will be there. Sitting there, they torture you. So how do you erase the screen from being active? Release the prisoners. Now, sometimes you can sit and look at the roll call, prisoners' roll call. Some are for life imprisonment, some for few years. You would have designated them. I will never forgive. 3 things we do, 2 things commonly. Express your anger. Each time you express your anger, you suffer and make others also suffer. Suppress your anger, you suffer. It's like filling a pillow with cotton. You go on filling 1 kilo, 2 kilos, still you are able to fill it, but the bottom is broken. It's going out of that. When you suppress, somewhere it is leaking. It may be leak as health problem, various things. Then third thing is, confess your anger to God. Confess your anger to God. Various things will be there. Maybe you are meeting first time a person also. Confess the reason of your anger, basis of your anger, forgiveness, unforgiveness, everything. So what do you confess? Who is the cause of my anger? Lord, I am blaming somebody else for me, my anger. I have been blaming somebody else. Confess that. Agree before God, I am responsible for this. Third, my memory screen is very active, Lord. I am responsible for this. You can also confess, it's very difficult for me to forgive because I have been very badly hurt. Then you remember what the Lord had done for you on the cross. The 10,000 talents, which is equal to all the sins we have committed, which could never have been forgiven by anyone by any means. The load is very heavy. That has been forgiven. Meditate on that. And look at what somebody else has done, how big it is. Tell the Lord, confess that, Lord, this is tiny bit. I'm such a fool to forget what you have done for me. Quite often, unforgiveness is a means of vengeance, taking revenge. You want to make the other person suffer, but in fact you suffer. You have a wound, you carry the wound for 1 week, 2 weeks, it hurts, it oozes, you dress it regularly, it pains. That was 2 years ago, but now you have a scar. You look at the scar, there is no pain. But the scar is there. People have hurt you. The memory will be there. That memory. But memory should be like scar only. It should not create any hurt or pain. Events happen will be remembered. That's no problem. But is there pain in it? Is there oozing? Every thing we commit, we are responsible. Is there anything for which you are not responsible, which you bring before the Lord? I watched that, I read that. I am responsible. Okay. Every sin we commit, we are responsible. But what does the Lord say? Read from 1 John chapter 1, verse 9.
We confess our sins, He is faithful and just, and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness.
Which word is important for you? No. One word is there. A-L-L. Does it exclude anything? Does it exclude anything? He says, I will forgive. You say, He will not forgive. Which is right? All includes all. All unrighteousness. There is nothing excluded. Nothing excluded. Do you believe it? One, aviation ministry. One airfield is there, aviation ministry is, take the missionaries to various airports and leave them there and come. The base is there. Wives are there, missionaries will be taken. A plane took off with 8 missionaries. After some time it burst in the sky. All of them died, including the pilot. Investigations. The nozzle where the gasoline comes, petrol comes, that nozzle was found loose. The mechanic who was repairing it was found out. He agreed. While I was removing the nozzle and cleaning it and then tightening, somebody called me for something. I forgot to tighten it completely. It burst, leaked and burst. He is a murderer for all the 9 people. He could not come out of his room or house. But all the 9 wives, one after another, came and forgave him. He was restored. He came back to his work. Paul, before his conversion, was responsible for many widows and orphans. But after he came to the same church, Jerusalem church, met the orphans and widows in the church, spoke about the love of God. He said, I was ignorant, I did it. God has forgiven me. How could he face these people? Because he knew the power of forgiveness. If you don't believe it, the evil one will say, God will not forgive you. He forgives all our unrighteousness. But the forgiveness was brought to us at a great cost. So you will be eternally thankful for the forgiveness we receive. It's not light, it's not cheap, it's great. Probably this is forgotten, the cost of forgiveness. The cost of forgiveness. That's why during the communion time, the Lord's word is, remember what I have done. Remember me. And the remembrance must include the cost he paid. Not with the blood of the goat and the bull, but the precious blood of Son of God. So the response to that will be, I am eternally thankful to you. I am indebted to you. Because you have forgiven me, Lord, I will forgive everyone who come across me. We are able to receive forgiveness because of the finished work of Jesus Christ on the cross. Okay, now we come to this part. The Lord asked Jonah when the plant dried up, Jonah, have you any good reason to be angry for the plant that is withered? I have any reason to become angry. Then what about me? What kind of things? One plant that he did not plant that came up and dried up, he becomes angry with God. You did not plant, you did not water, it came up. Have you got any good reason to be angry? Yes, I have reason. Then God will say, I have enough reason to annihilate you all. And remember, most of your problems, to start with, on the way, the Lord said, when your adversary is on the way, reconcile with him. In the beginning, it's only very small. But then, the snowball effect is there. You will go on, replay it, then call somebody and share it. He will add fuel to it. It will become bigger. You will share to somebody else. You will select the right people to share it. Not somebody will say that you are wrong. who will support you. So finally it becomes a big thing you cannot carry. Now you cannot do anything. Once you have been thrown into prison, the judge takes the hammer, then it is finished. You are in the jail. You will not come out of the jail till you pay the part. Many things can be done before that. Many things can be done before that. I met a girl who was abused in childhood by one of her relatives. People are counseled her to forgive, but she won't. She can't, she says. But as a compensation for the pain inside, she is going on eating. She has put on so much weight. She is suffering, she is destroying herself, but she won't forgive. She is already trapped. They were in a hostel building. One who was studying for priesthood and another Negro, black, was staying there. The Negro slowly became a drug addict and he wanted money. So once he asked him money, he said, I won't give. He knew what. He stabbed him 3 times and ran off. He was bleeding and he crawled out, came for crying for help from the veranda. This man, as he was running, he turned back and asked, will you forgive me? And he ran off. He was admitted in the hospital, very sick, 2 days. The doctor said, he won't balance. We cannot say what will happen. 3rd day, he tilted, he became all right. It was a dramatic event. So the doctor asked, what happened on that day? The face of this man was in front of me, will you forgive me? I could not forgive him, I could not forgive him. But it went on like this. But on the 3rd day, at one point I forgave him. That's the point at which his healing also happened. And a patient who had developed gallbladder cancer, he was admitted in special ward. Lot of people to attend to him, very rich. He said, we cannot do anything, this is inoperable. But we say that we will go to Vellore. They went, after 2 months he came back with a leaking gallbladder because it won't heal also. He was admitted now in a general ward. There was nobody to look after. His old sister was there. I asked what happened. When my sons knew that I won't get healed, they took all my property, threw me out. He was so angry with his 2 sons. Every day when I go and dress, I'll talk about forgiveness. One day he said, yesterday my sons came to see me. I forgave them. So cheerful. And the bedridden person, he said, I'm going home. He walked home to the car when next day he died. Yes, the power of forgiveness. Power of forgiveness. So release your prisoners, walk in freedom. Walk in freedom.